Alright, let's actually make sure I got the phone shut off here so that does not pop up during our broadcast here tonight. Has everybody been answered? Yeah, good. We're all good there. Alright. So I did a little bit of work on the Canon camera, so I'm hoping with any luck maybe the picture looks a little bit better. It's not nearly as good as the webcam image. I haven't heard back from Canon yet. I sent an email to their support saying, hey, what's going on here? I'm using your instructions and the feed I'm getting from your camera is way less than 1920 by 1080. And who knows, maybe we'll get an answer. I was doing some reading ahead on the instructions, and I like the way things are going. The next couple steps are going to be interesting because I know we're putting the top of the frame up, and then we have this, there's a bar in between that's separated by 170 millimeters. And I remember for the FT-5, someone had actually made a jig that you could actually put the metal in there to do that. And for the life of me, probably like with a lot of other builds, I lost it. I don't know where it is. So we're stuck using the good old ruler for that step. But again, that was going a few paces ahead. Let me go over to the other camera here because I think this one affords us a little bit better view. And I got the directions running in the background. And let's see, this is too reflective. I noticed that last night when I wanted to use the mouse on the panel. Okay, so over here, I'm going to get rid of that. All right, let me go ahead, and you're only on for 1 hour tonight. Oh my God, you live in Denmark. Wow. Well, glad you could be here. So let's see, how many people do we have on? 7. I meant to put the timer screen on. I usually like to give like a 10-minute warning. This way it gives people a chance to get in, and then I'd rather you guys be waiting for me for a few minutes. I've gotten a lot of good feedback from people about the video. A lot of guys have reached out and said, hey, I'm waiting for mine to be delivered. I'm waiting for the parts, or I'm missing parts, and it's fun to see what you're doing. I'm hoping Mr. Phillips will be here again tonight. We've had a good time. We're at or about the same location of our build, so he's offered some good feedback. If you are new, if this is your first time tuning in, or if you're wondering what the heck you've walked into, first of all, my name is Paul. This is my channel where nerdy is cool. As you can see in the background, a lot of 3D printers. Behind the chair, there's a BB-8 frame for my BB-8 project. I've also done an R2-D2. I've done a Batman suit. I've done a Stormtrooper. I got a lot of projects. So that is the theme of my channel, where nerdy is cool. So welcome. If you're not already a subscriber, down there in the corner is a button where you can do so. So I hope you're enjoying the series. And again, what I've been doing every morning is after we do a video, the live streams are stored, but they are automatically made unlisted. So what I do is I go in there, I add to the description. This way, if anyone is following in my footsteps along their build, the description, I hope, will save them some steps and lets them know exactly what we did and if there's any notes. For example, the flat washers is something that I feel is very essential to this build. You have a lot of areas where you have M5s coming into contact, and that's fine. But there's a few areas elsewhere in the frame, in the panels anyway, where I definitely feel that a flat washer will help, especially with the small ones where the stepper motors connect is a good idea. Those are using number 6 if you're keeping track of parts here. And my concern is I just don't want to dimple the ACM because it's, the aluminum on either side of this middle material isn't terribly thick. So we just want to make sure that we don't cause any dimpling, popping, cracking, whatever, and do it right the first time. We also incorporated a tensioner, which is a Thingiverse part that I think 4Dogs and then someone else tweaked it, so I don't remember who to give credit to here. But anyway, so that is part of this build as well too. So there we go. I gotta make sure I look at my buffer every now and then, because when I was looking over the replay last night, I saw a couple times where people had asked questions and I was so engrossed in building that I forgot to look. So thank you for being patient with me. What else did I need to cover? Also in the description, if you're thinking about ordering one of these printers or anything from FolgerTech, there is in the description of this video, there is a coupon code. I don't remember exactly how much you save, but you save. So take advantage of the coupon code that's in there, and that'll save you a couple bucks. And you know, when you're talking about a big purchase like, you know, a $700-800 printer, every little bit helps. Also, there's a link over there. You can also do it through Super Chat. There's a little $sign down there. If you like what you're seeing, you like my channel, you're getting a kick out of me, and you want to throw me a couple of bucks for my efforts, feel free to do so. All right, enough talking. So what I'm going to do now is swap views over here. Okay, so there's our manual, and I should probably slide this over a little bit over here because I got my overlay. So we just started getting into the frame, and let's go skip along through here. I did offer some feedback, as I mentioned in the previous videos, to the folks at FolgerTech. Okay, this is about as far as we got last night. We got this part done, and now we're at the point where we're doing this. So there we go. And what I can do is, let's get off that view. Let's roll over here. Actually, let me get a wider shot here. All right, so we don't need this quite yet. And so I know this calls for a whole pile of M5s, so we may as well have those ready to go here by opening the case up. We also have these interesting corner bracket pieces that are going to be going in, so we'll get those guys out and ready. And again, if I've missed anything, I'm going to keep an eye on the buffer, so fire away if you have questions. Okay, the documentation, the step that we're on, and one of the steps that I had mentioned, for example, on the top of this page, okay, they're talking about the things you're going to need. So they've mentioned the M5 screws, the M5 T-nuts, and the three-way corner pieces, okay? But what they're not telling you is, you know, they're not mentioning these four pieces of aluminum that you're going to need, and they're not mentioning, you know, the brackets. They mention them in the text down below, but in my opinion, if you're going to indicate what parts are needed to accomplish this step, you should include everything. So that's just my point of view. It's not a criticism, just a little constructive criticism right there. Jake from Stage Farm, we haven't seen you in a little while. So right now we're looking at the top parts of this frame, and you're going to see, I skipped ahead to, I tried to be prepared tonight, and I read ahead a few steps, and there's a few spots here where there's some improvements that could be made. This manual is very good. There's a few spots here where I just feel we could make it a little bit better. But as has been pointed out to me, it's not my product, it's someone else's. So all we can do is offer feedback, and if they accept it, that's great. Okay, so this is assembly, top of frame, two 1000mm 2020 and two 500mm. So I got more of these guys sitting over here. Now, as you guys know, I have cats, and as any other pet owner, I love my animals, but they were heathens last night. So before I started the video, I fed them. So I'm hoping they're nice and sleepy, and they're going to leave us the hell alone. Because in the corner, I have all the packing material that the printer came in, and they are totally loving that. Okay, so we need two of these, and what we're going to do is we're getting the, I should have done this before. This was the one package I forgot to do. I've done it with all these others, but let's get rid of this. What you're going to find when you unpeel this stuff is that because of, you know, when they cut it, there's going to be all kinds of little aluminum debris in the channel. And it's good to clean that up because you'll never get it out when it's all assembled. Someone asked, when do I think I'll have it up and printing? And it's like, well, we've been making pretty steady progress on it every night. I mean, certainly I think by the weekend, I would like to think we'd be powering things up. But I also noticed that the manual, we're on page 16 of 88, so I'm trying to contain my optimism. Just a quick question while I'm thinking of it. I just want to make sure, let me do a clap right here. So is audio and video synced up okay this time? I haven't made any changes to settings, but you know, it's the world of YouTube and the internet, so I just want to make sure you can hear me okay. All right, and then this is just getting totally out of hand, huh? So it's going to be interesting to mount this stuff up top. That's good? Okay, thank you. Just wanted a little feedback. All right. Let's pop these guys open so everything is ready. I am impressed, bewildered at how big this printer is. I've been trying really hard to make sure that everything looks as square as it is. Of course, I don't have a carpenter's triangle, square, whatever you want to call it. But I've been trying to make sure that every piece that goes in there, I'm using a big piece of aluminum here to make sure everything is flush and lined up. Okay, so I have almost all the pieces. Oh, come on. I think this razor blade has had better days. And I think the lighting is okay. It looks to me, we're looking at the other laptop, a little dark, but it could be just the way the LCD screen is. But I can throw in a little extra. That tickled. Let's see. Okay, so we got some extra light there, so maybe that will brighten. Hey, John Thompson, hello, and I'm here for a minute. Caleb, no, Caleb. We're good, we're literally just starting. Let's see, we're looking at the instruction sheet here right now. So I think we have everything set. Make sure the joins are square and flush, okay, yeah, we'll do that. Let's see. I said I wanted to make sure I got all the aluminum boogers out of this one, so let's do that real quick. So you can see it in the edges there from when it was cut. Oh, you got a couple little, I can't tell that's, oh, that's a gouge. Well, not much I can do but a gouge. No, I did not buy a square. My friend offered to loan it to me, but I forgot to go pick it up because I was just too friggin' busy today after work. But it's okay, I mean, we can certainly, the whole thing is T-nuts, so if worse comes to worse, we can just loosen, push, shove, and retighten. Alright, I'm trying to figure out how the best way of doing this part is going to be. Let's move these guys. Okay, let's, okay, so we're looking at this. Okay, let me kick back to this camera view here. Actually, let's go to the other one. There, you can see that a little bit better. So we know that this is going to go like so. Trying to get a good look at that joiner. Okay, so it sets in there like that. Now the other thing that, and again, here's Paul with his background in technical documentation being a little bit picky, okay? So we know that we have a joiner going in here. It mentions that we need on the top of the screen, that's where I want to put your attention here. So we need 24 M5s, we need 24 M5 T-nuts. We need the 4-way connector, but they don't mention the set screws, okay? Which is obviously hardware. So yeah, another little oops on their part. Let's see. Let me get this spanner. So again, I'm not being too nitpicky. Actually, the set screw for this guy is pretty huge. So what size set screw does this take? Because none was included here. Does this use M3s of some sort? Nope, M3 goes right through that. Because it is threaded. Hello, Brian G. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what the set screw would be for this thing. Or are we just not using one? Because we do have assemble the top of the frame with 2 1,000 millimeters, blah, blah, blah. Using 4-way corners and set screws. Well, okay. Where's my set screws? Alright, so I'm going to have to guess at what size that is. It feels like an M4, maybe? Okay, yeah, so an M4 thread's in there. But what size M4? Matt, hey, good timing. I am looking at this piece right here, and it says to add the set screws, but the packages did not include any set screws. And just from experimenting, this is a M4 size, so I don't know if I'm using the M412. No, I still won't have enough. So in the documentation on page 16, yeah, it doesn't indicate. Boy, oh boy. It's one little hurdle after another. Because the only set screws I have are the teeny tiny ones. Nope, the ones in the bottom were these, just for comparison, okay? These are the ones that were in the bottom. These tiny little guys. About they look like sawed off M3s. And as you saw, I just unbagged all these guys. There were no set screws in them. Well, I might be missing parts too, my friend. I'm looking around at some places. Spare parts somewhere, but I am not seeing anything. Well, if you have your hardware laid up, I would be curious if you have anything that is M4 size. Because I do not. Yeah, I do not have any M4 set screws. What do they look like? Or are they tucked away inside another bag? Okay, this is the pulleys. Okay, and that's my belts. Which bag did you find it in? With the M4 hardware? Yeah, I've already got it all sorted out in here. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. weird is this? Looking at the chat buffer here. Yeah, I don't have any M4 set screws. Are they, the set screws that you have, are they identical to the M3s, right? They just got the Allen wrench top and that's it? Because, I got a bunch of squares. Springs. Nope. Wow. Well, that is a ball buster right there. It's going to be hard to put this all together when you're missing some of the essential stuff. And that's really been one of their gotchas. Their quality control needs quality control. Matt, do me a favor, take a picture of what yours look like and ping it to me on my Facebook Messenger. I mean, worst case, I can pick some up. Let's see, let me move the camera here a little further back. Oh, you sent it. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so those are, okay, so those are a whole lot fatter than the, you know what's interesting is I have a tremendous, these M3 ones, let me show you here. I got a tremendous, I'm sorry, Paul, concentrate. Let's go over here to this. This guy here, I must have another half dozen of these. I got 2, 4, 6, I got loads of them. But as far as for M4 hardware, I really don't have, from what I've done so far, I literally only have 5 M4 12s and M4 16. Yeah, these are the pulley set. I wouldn't expect to find that in there. Well. Greetings, Earthling. Yeah, right now we're trying to determine if I'm missing stuff. I don't think it's been misplaced because first thing we did was sort out all the hardware and put it in here. Just double checking. Well, God, as they say on that TV show, Wicked Tuna, it's a wicked pisser. Very poor sound. Really? That would be the first sound complaint. So, if you're just tuning in and wondering why I'm not building, is it looks like I'm missing hardware. The step that we're at right now, when we piece together the top of the frame, we have these large corner pieces and they use M4 set screws, and I don't have any M4 set screws. Yeah, you have M3, so you're missing more stuff too? Yeah. Yeah, the little ones, like I said, I got tons of those. Well, what do we do next? I mean, I could MacGyver something. I don't, because technically, no. I really can't MacGyver something because I don't have the right size. There's no way these things use M3s. Come back. Because it's really weird to be missing just that one component, but do they really use the M3? Because when I threaded it up, well, wait a minute. Oh, you know what? I think they mixed them all together because M3 and M4 look so close together. That I'm not confused. If I take an M3, and M3 goes right through that. So I think what they did with the set screws is they put them all in there. Because as I'm watching these guys roll around the desk, let's see. Okay, so, well, what do you know? So I found one. Jeez. Why is everything a struggle with these guys? All right. I'm out of explanations. I'm out of excuses. But the first handful that I grabbed did not fit. So hang on here. Okay, that's a whole lot bigger than the first one I picked up. Okay, this one's going to fit. Okay. Let's get the camera going on the external. Well, that's what I wonder. For whatever reason, I have both sizes in here. So the first couple I picked up were M3s, and then the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are the right ones. But I still wish on the top of the instruction page here, I still wish that it said what is what. Let me start you. Where's my little aluminum jig here to keep everything straight? So you're eventually going to go in like so. Alright, so I think the secret here is we build the frame outside first. Okay, 19 viewers. Hey guys. Okay, so we got that sorted out. Apparently I have a buffet of different size set screws in here. I think maybe relocating the tools would be a good idea because I'm quickly running out of workspace. Okay, are you a 3? You're a 3. Alright. This thing is just so freaking huge to work with. Alright, set screws. I don't want to lose any more of you. I'm going to put you over here. So somehow we have to attach one of those to the side. Ah, look at this. This is like a crazy erector set here trying to flush these guys all up here. Well, if you have a second set of hands when you put this thing together, that will be very helpful. Alright, you stay flush. Now, I'm not cranking on this too tight. I'll use the Allen wrench to do that. Let's get this razor blade out of the way. CNC Evolution will be back after these messages. So, jeepers creepers, I really need a second desk. So let's move this offset here. Please. There. Okay, and then I'm used to having music in the background, but if I had it playing in the background, I'd definitely get tagged by YouTube. Someone would report a copyright violation. Alright, so we're starting these set screws so they're not touching anything yet. Okay, that last one's going to go in pretty funky. Alright. Where's my little shimmery? Okay, so we're getting these guys pinched into place here. Okay. Alright, then the fun part, that last corner. Clang, clang, clang. Hypercube is going to be a very large printer. I'm looking forward to hearing about how you like that, because they had offered the channel one for a discount, and I said, well, we're about ready to start doing the FT-6 build, but you know, if the price is right, we would certainly enjoy trying one out. The nice thing is when these things are fully in, they do a really good job of kind of coming into shape with how they should be as far as flush. Okay, there it is. Oof. And then somehow I gotta do this with grace and delicate touch here. And Sorry for walking in front of the camera here for a moment. Okay, there's that guy. Yeah, tickles. All right, let's double check everybody. Everybody looks okay. So we need 2 per side. Do I have enough? Let me just give you the zoom out, just so you can see how ridiculously huge this thing is. I could literally fit 3 Ultimakers in here, probably 2.5 CR10s, and on one hand, this is totally crazy. On the other hand, it's like, oh my god, this is going to be so cool. So I'm kind of torn between which emotion to express at the moment. But it's interesting because it's at the right height to knock my hat off, so you guys have some entertainment. I do like, this does a really nice job of pretty much squaring itself. I mean, we'll find out for sure when I bring out the carpenter square and check it. Probably do that tomorrow. But I think this corner piece is it's a good part choice. The other thing I would like, as I mentioned last night, is, you know, if you ever look at the 80-20 builds they have on their website, they have those 45-degree pieces that come in over here. You know, it would be a bad idea to have that as well. Okay, the problem with this tool case that I bought, just as an FYI, if you follow what I'm doing and bought one of these, don't get one that has super deep pockets. I feel like it's a treasure hunt trying to grabbing one screw at a time here. Okay, you're in there. Oh, please tell me I have enough to finish this. I'm not convinced I do. Just want to make sure that none have rolled around on this. I knew that thing was going to tap me in the head. Okay, oh, there's one right here. That's honest to God, it feels like it's the size of a fishbowl. It'll probably use as much energy as one too, come to think of it. I'm greatly interested in seeing if he's got an enclosure already set up for this. Alright, here's my last 2. I feel one. Here's one. Oh, I heard it tick. There's one more there. Hip hip hooray. Oh, going straight. And where am I stepping on? Okay. That is my 50-year-old furnace firing up. I apologize. If you can't hear it, that's great. If you can hear it, I apologize. Wow. Okay, let me look at the buffer in case I miss anything cool. Hi, Emma. Me again, can I ask you if you would consider doing a rigid ink filament? I don't know anything about rigid ink filament, but you are certainly welcome to, under the contact info on my YouTube channel. It's paul@wherenerdyiscool.com. really don't have a policy on reviewing things. I just, if it's provided or if you give me a discount, I'm going to share that with the audience when I do it. I like to be honest with my audience. Isn't as big as some others, but I always appreciate when I'm watching video reviews. Oops, sorry. Where sometimes I wonder, did they get that for free, or did they have to pay for it, or did they get a discount? Because sometimes you'll notice that makes a difference in the review. You see what a lot of these guys that get all these Creality machines for free. Okay. It seems like they never say anything negative, because I suspect the minute they say something negative, there goes all their free toys. Oh, really? The 3D maker? I like him. The gentleman from Malta? I like him. Prepare for liftoff. Isn't this thing crazy? Matt, I hope you get your parts. It's really unfortunate you don't have everything. But I'm glad you're watching. At least together we're kind of going through this build together. It's good to make a new friend. There's a couple guys that have theirs together, and they're already talking about how they perfected doing dual extrusion and stuff like that. So it's fun to learn with a group at roughly the same pace. All right, so what we're doing now is these are the BFP-02s. As I said last night, if you hadn't figured it out, the BFP abbreviation stands for a big effing printer. And I'll let you fill in the colorful metaphor as you wish. I try to keep the channel rated PG and friendly for all ages, so I try to keep away from the colorful language. Let's see. So we have to get these guys. Boy, there's a lot of pieces here. Big fancy printer. Z1, very good. Always thinking. You guys never disappoint. I hope the Canon camera is doing a decent job here for us. I'll switch over to the, I know this one is a little bit more on the high def. That's just the cruelties of life. The $100 camera is doing a better job than the $900 camera. But I don't think Canon exactly designed it for live streaming in their defense. If you hear commotion in the background, that is my long-haired cat named Molly. You may see her running behind me every now and then. And Theodore is the 1-year-old. He's also a black and white cat. And he's currently, looks like he's sleeping inside the FolgerTech box. So, there it is. Let's make sure I have the right wrench. Okay, I will do your side first, so you guys can witness all the fun. Let me, first of all, let's put the right camera angle so you can actually see the fun. So we don't have to worry too much about how exact this is. We do have to worry about how exact the 170 millimeters from the top is. And here's where we play that frustrating game with T-Nut saying, please go in straight. Oh, come on guys, I had you all lined up a second ago. There it is. And we want to make sure that it is lined up on the top. So I got a nice little aluminum piece here to do that for us. Also going to make sure you are flush over here before I go too tight with you. Yeah, you're good. I do like that this is all white. Almost gives it an appliance look. The amount of power it's going to use, I suppose, is appropriate. unlike the ACM on my i3 Mega so far, and I don't want to hex myself, it hasn't carved me up, so I'm happy with that. For those of you that like to do LED lighting in your printer, I think you would really like this printer because it appears to be quite a bit of, you can probably put a disco ball on this thing. So there, what do you think? Hey CNC Evolution, I'm hoping you can hear me better. You're the only one that mentioned you were having trouble with my audio, so I'm hoping now that you've popped in and out, it's a little bit better for you. Because it's important that all my guests can hear me okay. Because I don't want anyone to miss my channel. I meant, you know, Emma, that's great. You know, I don't know if I have you on Facebook or not under Where Nerdy is Cool, but I was going to ask you how your build is going. I was hoping Greg was going to be, I'm sorry, Greg, Keith was going to be online, because I know he's had a struggle with his. So yeah. Now you mentioned, Emma, are you in the, I'm trying to remember where you're located. Are you in the UK or? I talk to so many people during these evenings, I lose track of where everyone's at. Usually I'm the most northern person, so it's about all I remember. Everyone else is in a warmer climate. Thank you, Matt. Okay. It's really, really easy to cross-thread these T-nuts. I know when a friend of mine was helping with my FT-5, he would only put the T-nut on there for like a half turn or so. And I said, no, go ahead and put 2 or 3 turns on that, because if you don't have it on there just right, it's going to drive you crazy when you try to tighten it up later. Wales, okay, you're in the UK, yeah. So, if I'm remembering my time zones, you think you're 6 hours ahead of me? So, is it like 3 in the morning over there? I got a friend of mine I fly with. He's by Manchester, and he works nights. He gets out late, and typically he'll message us and say, "Hey, gents, you want to go fly?" And he's big into hard rock and roll. We always have some really good discussions. Oh, 1 a.m.? Okay, oh, that's right, because we went back an hour. Okay, so yeah, we were 5 hours, so okay, that makes sense to me. If he's having a bad night, we really want to pick on him. We ask him, what the hell's going on with Brexit? And he just rolls his eyes. He goes, oh, geez, I just don't even know where to begin. But we don't talk politics here because I like everybody, and let's keep it that way. I believe everyone should have their point of view, and as long as you vote and as long as you believe it, that's all I care. Yeah, my parents growing up were very opposite, and their point of view was, well, let's have a conversation. If we agree, great. If we don't, we can agree to disagree. And my friends think that's remarkable. They're like, oh my God, your parents are so cool. It's like, well, it's kind of reasonable, don't you think? Plus, people that agree with everything I think, I don't trust. I want people to have a different point of view. I want to learn their point of view, whether it be printers or motorcycles or what have you. Okay, that's not quite lined up, so let's back you out a little bit. Little pro tip is what you want to do is put this guy in up top here for, you know, don't go super tight, and then do this one. This way you get these guys lined up on that edge. Because this one was a little bit off when I did it. Okay, sorry, you guys can't really see what I'm doing here. I'm doing this back piece because when I started to put the screws in, I realized, oh, wait a minute. It's not going to go here. All right, so this one has to go in this way. So let's clean up this debris. I'm going to look at the buffer, see if I've missed any discussions while I've been rambling on. 305, wow. That's funny. Okay. So if you're getting, or if you're building your Prusa machine, I wonder, are you going to do the multi-extruder? Because that seems to be a pretty interesting topic for a lot of people. So they can do multiple materials. I want to say the ones I've seen, they got a whole row of stepper motors across the top of the printer. I would love to try out a pallet, you know, the multi-filament through one extruder kind of thing. They've had a lot of innovations on that as of late. Okay, do I have, let's go to this camera here. All right, so we're buttoning up all this stuff. I like fish and chips. Yes, I do too. I got a friend of mine that just came back from visiting Scotland, and all he was talking about was haggis and, I don't know, sheep stomach, sheep intestines, I don't know. I don't know if he was being honest, just trying to wind me up or whatever, but I was just, yeah. Oh, wow, Matt, for the win. Did you order single extruder? Well, I'd say after everything you've been through, you certainly earned and made it well on that era. Well, the one thing, when I watch these streams, I enjoy watching people build, but the interesting thing with this big giant build here is that there are so many pieces that require so much cranking and turning and such. So I hope I'm making it somewhat lively and entertaining for you. Okay, let's make these guys. See, this is the fun when you're trying to get all these pieces, you know, horizontal and vertical, so that you can kind of just slide it in there. Oh, I hit this out of the frame when I was doing it, so half them jingled out. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that top is good and level. We're going to kind of eyeball that edge. Okay, so you're flush, good. Now down here, let's make you flush. Good. So this should do a nice job of stiffening up that frame. Okay. How does it look, people? It's starting to look like a printer. Let's see. Yeah, well, if you're clueless about the Duo, I got news for you. I'm in the same boat as you once again. Oh, jam nozzles are no fun. Yeah, I feel as you there. A jammed nozzle is, I remember I've done that with my Ultimakers. Fortunately, they're very easy to get the nozzle off. They have it set up, it's called the Olsen block, and what essentially the hot end block is bolted to the bottom of the print assembly. So if you want to unscrew that nozzle, you can do so with ease without the whole rest of the system coming apart on you. So if you have a nozzle that you think is totally gunked up and not worth salvaging, you just unscrew it, remove it, toss it, and put a new one in. I know some people have gone through there, they've tried hypodermic needles or acupuncture pins. I'm always a little unnerved when people have all these borderline medical devices on hand. But anyway, but I've never had any luck with an old nozzle clearing it out. I've seen people where they've put them under a candle and tried to melt the residue out, and they may have got it out, but they have all that soot inside there. Okay, so last one is this one over here. And then the fun part will be getting the middle bar across here, because that has to be exactly 170 millimeters and outside of a ruler. It might be 169, it might be 171, but we will hope for the best. Yeah, I got some friends that have the Maker bots, and they had mentioned that when they get a hot end clog, it's pretty much that printer's out of commission for quite some time. Actually, the only thing I know about the UK is they just retired the jet plane there, the Tornado. Oh, I got a little debris from the. Here we go. One thing to watch out for, anyone else following my footsteps on this, is make sure that if you're about ready to put a T-nut on one of these bolts, that there are no shavings from the ACM on it. I just had that happen over here. I was like, why will this nut not thread on here? And that is why. And I still got a bunch of fuzzies hanging off of all these openings, and I'm sure someone's going to criticize me for not going through with a deburring tool, but let's get the printer together first. Then I'll clean it up. Someone in the group, he must have access to some nice materials, but he wrapped all of his pieces in a imitation carbon fiber like vinyl, and it looks great. The only problem with I mean, with the white it's not so bad. If it was black, you know, the first time you put a scratch in this thing, you know, white is not nearly as bad, but black, ooh boy. Okay, oh, this has debris on it as well. Dun, dun, dun. Spitfire in the Harrier. Yeah, Harrier is one of my favorites. The American company, McDonnell Douglas, licensed that design, and they fine-tuned it and improved it. I know the British just retired theirs, and I want to say our government bought quite a few of them, because ours are still in active service, so parts is parts. There we are. Okay, are you guys all in? You guys are all in. All right, where's my little set piece here? So I can get you all lined up here. Someone messaged me, asked why I wasn't using any power tools. Because with power tools, you can screw up a lot of stuff very quickly. Whereas me with an Allen wrench, a little bit less so. I can't remember who asked, but if you're wondering that in the back of your mind, going, well, geez, why don't you just use a power screwdriver with a hex head and blast those right in there? Well, would suck to strip a T-nut. Alright, these guys are on there fairly tight. Then let's, geez, I feel like I'm squeezing in here for the picture. Let's see. Oh, we had, yeah, so you've seen the hair? Yeah, we had, where I live, I'm across the river from Bangor here in Maine, and a lot of aircraft either coming from the pond or going over the pond. This is their last stop or first stop. We get a lot of British traffic. We get a lot of the Eurofighters. We get a lot of the Nimrod, the refuelers, and what have you. They stop in, they'll stay for a day or two to acclimate, and then they head to Nevada, and that's where they have the war games, Red Flag. So that's where I see a lot of these aircraft coming over from. Okay, so let's look at the instructions and make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Mount the top frame uprights VF2. Make sure the joins are square and flush. And I think, and I just want to make sure, we have accomplished everything we needed there. All right, look at this, page 20 of 91. Yeehaw. Okay, so that's why we have these leftover pieces. So he's indicating that those have to be 170 millimeters apart. Now the other thing, let's see, mount to 1000 millimeter, that's our horizontal, to 500, okay, that's the other axis, using BF2s. Okay, so there's, unlike the top and the bottom, we don't have any, I don't know what you would call that, pieces that interconnect. Where's the kitty cat crew? One is playing inside the box. Okay, yeah, I'll check it out. It'll probably come to my phone here in a moment. Let's see. I saw Theodore a moment ago. There he is. What are you doing, buddy? No, he's looking at me like I'm too busy playing. All right, so these guys go. All right, let me go my cursor back. Okay, so these guys are gonna go here. That's gonna go here. Okay, this all makes sense. What are you doing? Theodore, everybody's asking about you. Alright, I don't think he's too terribly interested in me though. So, now I may have done the wrong thing here by already putting in these pieces, because I'm not sure how I'm going to slide these guys in. Oh, okay, no, never mind. Okay, so you're in. Okay, there's a little bit of wiggle room. Well, I wish I had a 170 millimeter item here to, let's see, because between here, come back you. Well, I'm going to go with a guess here and assume that, well, let's put them in because I can always loosen them. Okay, so, okay, they are in. They're not very tight, but they are in. Okay, so I haven't reefed on them. from, of course, let's do this correctly here. Boy, if it's off by the littlest amount. Yeah, you know, and it's interesting you say that because I remember printing one for the FT-5, and I don't think I threw that away. It's very rare that I throw a large print like that away. And I'm kind of quickly looking around, seeing, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I still had that? So let me search for a moment. Hi, Theodore. Oh, where did I see that last? I may have thrown it away. Hi, Theodore. Boy, what a butt kicker that would be. That would come in really handy right now. Oh, you know what? That's a good idea. I should probably, let me do that right now. I'm glad you asked because I really should have had that provided. Because I can post that. Actually, let me do it on the other laptop because when this thing runs Chrome, it just brings this computer to a crawl. Because, you know, Google's grabbing all of our data, marketing it, sharing it with a Zuck. Okay, and let's go right here. And that is the link right there. Oh, it's so annoying because I thought I even had, I thought he had sent, maybe it was a spool holder, I don't know. I thought he had sent something that was literally 170 millimeters with the FT-5. And it's the kind of thing where I know if I print one, I'll find it. And if I don't print one, I won't have what I need. So I'm walking around the shop real quick to check. I am not spotting it. Well, I can continue without it and fine tune it. So I think tonight I will definitely be printing one. So yeah, that's a good pro tip. Did the link come across okay? Because I can certainly queue up the Ultimaker to print that. So many things I printed and didn't dare throw away. And that's the one I decided that, it's together, I'll never need it again. Tons of BB-8 mounts. Yeah, that's a bunch of Z couplers and packing. All right. So while we are thinking of that, let's, do we know, let's see, I thought they had a spacer. Let's look on Thingiverse real quick because, granted this won't be done tonight, but what I can do, okay, 170, let's see what comes up when I search. If someone sees it before I do, feel free to post that link. I thought it was under the FT-5 part collection at one point. Because what I can do is I can launch that on the Ultimaker while we work on this. What was it called? I think it was called alignment. Yes, 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 yes. I just found it. Here it is. There she is, guys. So Jess, I'm going to post this in the chat so that if any of you guys watching this video are getting ready to build yours, and of course I probably have to approve this. Yeah, I do. There it is. This will save you some steps. I should probably print 2 of these. So we're going to take a little detour here on the build because I just want to get the thing files. I would say you are right. And the nice thing is I know that since I've calibrated the extruder, I know it's going to come out all right. Let me stick this under 3D prints. And sure. Okay. And it is there. And the next thing is, okay, the Ultimaker is turned on. Okay, now let's do the, I got a mouse cursor here somewhere. There it is. There's Octoprint. Take a second to spool up. Look at the camera. There's the camera. Let's connect. You're going to get a little funk. Okay, it's ready to roll. I just have to grab that print. That was called FT-5 something something something. FT-5 alignment tool. There it is. Okay, let me drag drag this over here. As you can see in Simplify 3D, that is barely going to fit my printer. I don't think it's really going to do so happily. So let's go under this little tool here and let's see if it's any happier when I, oops, you have to hit Control and then move it around here. Yeah, I feel a little bit better about doing it that way. Good. Let's see, that's right. To get out of this mode, I have to do this. Oh, there we go. That gets rid of it. Alrighty. Let me look at my process and settings real quick. Let me pull this over. Okay. I don't think 30% is really needed. There we go. I think 20 is fine by default. Okay. I'm on the Ultimaker, and I'm using Engine, which is a polyester material, which is similar to PETG. We certainly don't need support. Linus Tech Tips is a good channel. Let's see. We're going to use a slight. We can probably bring that back a little bit. Oh, so that's right. If you hit Enter, it kicks you out. No support, 20%. What are my temps? Let's see, we gotta do 82 for the bed, that's normal. Those are normal temps for this filament. We really don't need a lot of, if I'm not dealing with overhangs, I don't need a lot of fan on this material. So there we go. My layers, I think, are 0.2. They are. All right. Now the next step is 3 hours. Yeah, so we will not see that tonight. That's okay. So let's save this. We're going to save it to the Ultimaker Octoprint folder. All right, let's close you out. If you guys haven't seen Octoprint in action before, oh, here it is. Okay, alignment tool. Open. Okay, it's been uploaded. There it is. Okay, and poof. Away you go. And then, okay, and there goes the bed. It'll heat to 82. So let me get this out of here. Okay, 3 hours, 11 minutes roughly. Well, the new version of Simplify 3D is usually pretty close. There. All right. Sorry, I said all right. I know that drives Caleb crazy because I use it a lot. So what we'll do is we're going to put these in. We're going to expect to have to loosen them up and then tighten things back up. That's fine. I mean, I could go by a ruler, but I really like that alignment tool. Because with the FT-5, you basically just punch it in. While you loosen these guys up, you snap it into place, and off to the races you go. Theodore, what are you doing over there? Okay, that side's in. Coin. Okay, I'm not gonna go crazy on these because we'll just have to loosen them up later and realign everything, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. So yes, I'll definitely make a note in the when I release this video tomorrow morning. I'll definitely mention that print that file. And if I get the camera back over here, you guys can see what's up. All right, so there we go. We got 2 bars. Yeah, the projections of how long these things are going to take are, have been kind of comical for a while. So what do we put in first? So we're going to have to. I'm trying to see. Okay, here's what's interesting, because you got the two little holes here in the corner, so I guess it really doesn't matter one way or the other how they go. So that's okay. So, Matt, if you haven't already, no, there isn't a lot of adjustment, is there? I noticed that as well too. I mean, I'm half inclined to just, you know, if all four look lined up to me, and I can put a ruler, or I can even put a level on there and see how level they are. But if it has to be exactly 170, and he's got it in big bold print, you know, and the reason is because that's the gantry. You want to make sure the gantry is level all the way around. So, geez, I wish my CR10 was in service. I could have easily queued up 2 or 3 of those. So I think maybe the best way of doing this is drop it. No. Okay, so we will. So not only do you have to, here we go. I'm just gonna put that one in loose, in this one, because I'm sure that not only do you have to, well, what's the words I'm searching for? The words I'm searching for is once you get the bar in here, then you can loosen these two sides up and bring it up and down accordingly. That's what I'm, sorry. It's Paul's first day with big words. I was hoping, I don't know, about an hour and a half into this tonight, hour 26. I really wanted to get to the gantry, the X and Y, because I don't think there's really too much to that, but, you know, if these guys aren't perfectly level, we might have to sign off and wait until the Ultimaker is finished chewing that out. Because I'm thinking it's going to be a whole lot easier to make sure this is all within spec, you know, 170 millimeter, without the gantry and other pieces sitting on top of it. And so what I'm doing is I'm taking another piece of ACM, I'm laying it across the aluminum, and I'm just making sure that this is, come on guys, properly aligned with where it should be. Okay. Oh, I have a knack for having this Allen wrench in the worst place. What's kind of neat is, you know, these big outside pieces are level on the top and level on the side, but these side pieces on the other side, they're inset. They don't sit flush with the extrusion. Okay, you're probably going to see my back here for a moment. My fine, rippled and toned, no, that's still a work in progress. Okay, so that's not super tight. Strawberry has finished printing. Very good. Yeah, I can hear mine. Mine's spitting up. It takes, that bed is a 12-volt bed, so it definitely takes some time to get to 82 degrees Celsius. Okay, another 500. There goes the Ultimaker. Alright, we'll make sure that get rid of any blobs on the nozzle. Alright, well, one way to find out how good your bed leveling is on your Ultimaker is fill up the entire bed. And that's why I have it do a skirt. Oh yeah, that looks good. I did a good job on that one. Boy, there's a lot of aluminum debris on this thing. Quiet little thing. Well, this printer is from 2014, so it's a little before the days of trinamic drivers and what have you. I'll tell you, if you've ever owned an Ultimaker, it's you really have a great experience because Cure is all pre-programmed for it. People keep asking me, what's a good printer for beginners, and no one likes it when I say the Ultimaker because, Paul, it's so expensive. Well, sorry, I was just thinking to myself I shouldn't let that go. So yeah. Okay. So I can pull you flush. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so that's paying off, having done that before. Okay, and again, I'm not going crazy tight because I'm sure I'm going to have to redo all of this. Did you drop the exact same thing? There we go. Brother from another mother. We're both klutzes. Yeah. I'm trying not to go too crazy about worrying about, oh, is this level? Is this just right? Until that calibration piece prints, I am noticing that there's a teeny smidgen gap. This one goes flush. This one, yeah, I can put a fingernail in there, but I don't have any other way to really tighten that up, really. Now I hear the sound. That's right. Yeah, I start dropping crap and it comes through in high definition. Okay, the Ultimaker is churning away. It does have Z-hop turned on, so when it does a layer, it will lift, so you will hear a little squeak. So that's why I probably won't have the live stream on too terribly long, so you don't hear that in your sleep and complain to me. Yeah, that noise right there. See, I figured if I started printing this piece, the other one would magically turn up, but that has not been the case. What bugs me is I can't even remember where I saw it last. Nope. Is it over here? this guy. Oh, by the way, that wasn't a cat exploding. I stepped on one of the bubble wrap pieces while inspecting something. No, that's all my CR10 printouts. So it's not going to magically turn up. And I can use this. Yeah, it must be getting late. I can't even turn an Allen wrench. Okay, that one is in. I'm so tempted to call in sick to work so I can have more time to play with my printer. But my coworker watches my video, so he'd quickly figure out where I am. Looking at the buffer, see if I missed what the devil. Oh, okay, that's a piece of the ACM. Yeah, if you post an image or link, yeah, I'll have to approve it, but go ahead. It'll take me a second to see it. YouTube is very big into policing links. Let's see. Oh, did the sound kick out or with YouTube? That would happen to me with some of Tom Solanderer's live streams. I would have to reload every now and then. As long as you guys can hear me okay. So to those of you who are just joining in, I'm Paul. I'm behind the printer over here. Let me go to this other camera here. There we go. Hi. My name is Paul, and welcome to my channel where nerdy is cool. This is the FolgerTech FT-6 we're building. As you can see, it's ginormous. You could probably print a good-sized dog in this thing. I don't even know where to start. This is the FolgerTech FT-6, and I can post a link to it if you guys are curious what the specs and dimensions are. There is a link, and there's also somewhere an Allen wrench around here. There is a link in the description for a coupon code, so if you're interested in getting one of these printers and you want to save some money, I have a coupon code that will do that. If you're not a regular viewer to my channel, well, first of all, my feelings are hurt. I would invite you to become a subscriber. Nice to make new friends on here. I like to do a lot of tutorial videos. I got a lot of stuff on Octoprint, and I don't do a tremendous amount of reviews. There's more than enough review channels out there. I don't really think you need another one, but usually if I review something, it's usually something I'm pretty passionate about. Good and bad. There we go. So that is in. Well, that first layer looks pretty good. Okay, and now I need another 500. Kind of throws me off that I have one extra, but of course that's going to be our whatchamacallit. It's going to be our print. Man, I'm having a really tough time with my words. You could probably print a good-sized human, yeah. Alright, so we're cleaning up one. Whoops. No, I gotta pick that up a bit. My minions will go crazy for it. Mama Cat, what are you doing? Sometimes you gotta stop and pet the cat. In here. Alright. This is the old girl. She's 13 going on 14. Got goopy eyes. Now I have goopy hands. Thanks a lot. Oh, you got a headbutt? Okay. Oh, aren't you a purring machine? What do you think of this thing? Well, while we're talking, look at the size of this thing. Look, I could print a small mama cat. Yes. Yeah, I know, you're like, I'm never allowed on top of the equipment. That's perfect. Alright, you. What do you think? I know. She's my clingy cat. She's, if I'm somewhere, she's usually not very far behind. She likes to do the headbutt thing. Alright, old girl. You're purring, you're drooling, so I know you're happy. So let's get this last rail up. There you go. I'll put you over here. Wow. Wow. I already had a hairy chest, but now even more so. Okay, this last rail, I just got to clean it up a little bit. I have one pressing matter I got to take care of. Good old painter's tape. Wow. It is definitely the shedding season for the old indoor cats. Holy cow. Alright, sorry for the intermission. But you know what? She's old, and you never know how long you're going to have them, so I'm all for doting on mine. Did you send an imager? Here it is. Okay, let's see. Let's go to show. That link should show up now. And, yeah, strawberry definitely has some serious layer lines. But you gotta remember, a couple years back, a print like that would have been like extraordinary. Now we're spoiled, we're used to these no layer lines and that sort of thing. Alright, let's get these little, I'm gonna have to take the shop back here to the floor. I have a old Rhomba that I use down here, but since I got Fedor, I can't use it. The problem is that whenever I let that robot vacuum cleaner run, of course it has bump sensors that the robot goes, okay, that must be the wall. Fedor thinks this thing is a toy for him. So he attacks and beats the crap out of this thing. So this thing goes about, I don't know, goes about 3 feet, it gets clobbered. It goes 3 feet, it gets clobbered. It goes 1 foot, it gets clobbered. And the thing just runs right back to the charger saying, I can't do anything, dude. So essentially the Rhomba thinks that the basement is now 3 feet by 1 foot by 2 foot. Thanks to my idiot cat. Well, one thing's for sure, I'm noticing that you're not going to be able to quite level up the edge. Yeah, you're not going to level the edge of the ACM to the extrusion very far. You know, right by where it joins one edge, but further out not so much. Well, this one's okay. There. Holy cow. I'm not even in the camera shot anymore. It's just all printer. Well, folks, what do you think? I am thinking that, granted, I wanted to do more tonight, but I have the impression that if I try doing the gantry pieces on the next steps, let's look at those together here real quick. The next step is we really don't need to put the frame, the spool holder up yet. It would make a great aquarium, right? So the X assembly, now here, and again, this is one of those things with the instructions here. So if we add these pieces here, and we haven't already, what's the word I'm looking for, aligned that 170 millimeter, I think we're making life harder on ourselves. And the next page after that is we get into the world of the Y. Here's another thing he's doing. I noticed this afternoon when I was reading this. So after you install this piece, you have to put in this idler. I would like to think that we want to put the idler in to this ACM before we put it in place, just so it's easier to work with. So we're going to adjust our steps there accordingly. But yeah, over here is when we start putting in these guys. We want the 800 millimeter linear rails centered between the upper plates. Centering, that's going to be interesting. I don't know if we'll have to eyeball that or what. Looking at his picture, let's zoom it in again and again here. Okay, so he says centered, so I guess the only real reference you have is these pieces here. It would be nice if there was a measurement. Well, I mean, there is technically. I mean, that thing is 800 millimeters long, and that whole rail is a meter, so that's 1,000. So, so we know that we have to be 100 from each side. So there, a little basic math has solved that problem for us. And what's the step after this? Okay, then we're getting into the Y assembly. Well, the frame took a bit longer than anticipated, but you know, it's a good size frame. So there we go. There, let me angle this camera up here a little bit so we can actually see me. Hi. So I'm somewhere here in the window. Boy, I feel like the Brady Bunch here. You're looking up, down, left, right. Peter, Bobby, Cindy. All right, so what I'm going to do is, I planned on doing more tonight, but as it's 10 o'clock at night, so we've got 2 hours of work into this thing, which is good. We generally wanted to make these videos 2 hours long. Unfortunately, we didn't get to the other steps, but we did get into the, what am I saying here? We did get the frame done, but we got to get that alignment piece printed out so we can verify everything is square. And then we'll start with these gantry of the X and the Y. So I think that will be next. So I hope everything is, I've noticed my laptop, my video is spinning. I hope you guys are not stuck spinning like my laptop is. So there. Yeah, so this is what I'm down to here. The printer is so huge I have to stick my face in here and try to you know, get my face in the shot. So I'm going to wrap this video up right here. The frame is complete. The alignment tool is being printed. In the chat you will see a link for that on Thingiverse, but I am going to add it to the description. If you're watching this on the replay, it's down there in the description. I'm trying a few other things here that we found along the way. The set screws, I had a couple M3s and M4s. I don't know if they were really 3 or 4s. No, they must have been 4s because an M3 wouldn't, would just sank right in there. So that was a little weird, but we got it to work. What else was I going to say here before I wrap this up? No, I think we're in a good spot. Certainly, if you are a perfectionist and you want to clean these parts more, use a deburring tool to get some of the, the leftovers out, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Especially if you're missing parts and can't proceed, and you want to do that now, you can. When you do put these screws through some of those holes, and if you're trying to put the T-nut on and it doesn't seem to be threading, double check, because chances are you have some of the residue from the ACM clogging up the threading. So I ran into that a couple times this evening. Let's see, and everything's okay? Okay, good. So there. As always, I thank you guys for tuning in. This has been a lot of fun. We're going to do this again tomorrow night. Maybe we'll make some more progress. I don't know. I mean, I'm optimistic. Maybe we'll have it be printing by the weekend. Wouldn't that be cool? So there you go. If you're not a subscriber already, hit the button, become a subscriber. If you like the channel, you like me, you like what I'm doing, there's a link down there where if you want to make a donation, feel free. It's via PayPal. It is also, you can also do it through the $ there in the super chat. So again, thank you, and I'm going to sign off. As always, remember, this is where nerdy is cool. Stay nerdy, and we'll see you tomorrow night.